Oh man, so Render token, a very interesting project tied into the metaverse, is exploding right now. It's formed a really important pattern on its chart, which I want to bring to your attention. But more importantly, in a market when things are looking really bloody, as Bitcoin got rejected from 38,400, when other coins are super red, how is it that Render is up 5.23%, another green candle? We're going to come on to that and more in this chart. We're also going to look at Mana, Decentraland, as well as Sandbox, and look at those charts to see what patterns are we forming, and is there a clue that metaverse-based projects are just waiting to explode out of the blocks? As always, guys, here we're dedicated to bringing you a blend between technical and fundamental analysis on your favorite crypto. So if you want to join that journey, make sure you smash up the like buttons and subscribe. Can we get to 150 likes on this video, guys? As always, if you haven't, make sure you check the link in the description to stay safe in crypto. NordVPN are offering up to 70% off their 2-year plan, plus a month for free, guys, just for this community. So if you haven't got yourself set up on a VPN, you'd be crazy not to. If you're playing around in the metaverse, if you're staking, if you're buying NFTs, if you're using wallets and yield farming, and you don't have yourself set up on a VPN, guys, you really need to get educated in that space. Just find out how much of your data is publicly accessible, and it will shock you into understanding, how unanonymous we are right now. So go check out VPN coupon code. Oh man, links in the description. Right. So what are we seeing here? You can see here. We'll come onto the render chart shortly, but what I want to start off with is Bitcoin. And we can see that the wider Bitcoin market is not having a great day today. Let's pull this up. There we go, Bitcoin. So you can see here, we're not having a good day here on Bitcoin. If you haven't watched my Bitcoin video, make sure you go watch that from earlier today. Big red candle to the downside, rejected from the 38,450 mark. We're sitting at 37,000-ish right now. Can we hold this level and start to work back up? Can we create, again, the higher lows and keep that and continue our slight upward trend? But at the moment, this long-term red, long-term resistance is still holding up strong. If we head on over to coin market cap, you can just see 3.59% it's showing as Bitcoin down right now, Ethereum down 3.77, 2.47 down for Cardano, 5.4% Solana, Terra down almost 5%. A lot of blood on the market right now. What is going on? The market is not happy. If we head on over to look at the stock market, you can see, click on US, we can see the Dow Jones just holding positive at 0.25%. You've got S&P barely holding positive, as is the NASDAQ, and the Russell down almost 1%, which is showing that the market is still very, very uncertain. There's still a lot of risk-off appetite right now. You can see this is one of the catalysts that is causing some of the tension right now. US will move 3,000 troops closer to Ukraine. We can see Eurozone are talking about inflation hitting the market. What does this mean, guys? Why in and amidst all of this, are we still seeing the likes of Render token like this, up 2.25%, sitting at $3.95, and really breaking out on its chart, which we're going to look at right now? So it's very interesting. So we're seeing that. We are seeing over the last 7 days, actually, let's head back on over here. Let's head on down to Decentraland. So over the last 7 days, 18% up on Decentraland, okay? And if we head further down, Sandbox, 22% almost up. This is in the same period that Bitcoin is 0.3%, right? Something's going on here. There is a theme here. Money is flowing into some of these projects, and we need to keep an eye on that on this channel so we know what is going on. So let's head back on over to our watch list. Let's pull up Decentraland. And as you can see, we covered this in the video a couple of days ago. We've had a huge move here on Decentraland from the bottoms to about where the top there was a 70% pump, but to about where we are right now is a 52% move off the bottom. But is that just signs of how much more we have left to go? I mean, just to get to all-time highs from where we're at now on Decentraland, you're looking at a massive move of 128%, but we know there's still so much more potential in Decentraland and Sandbox that there is untapped potential. For example, here on my Fibonacci retracement targets, we're looking at the golden ratio here of for Decentraland sitting at 9.13. So massive move up here possible for Decentraland over the long term, if and when ultimately Bitcoin runs back up to 69,000 and 100K. But right now we're facing the 0.32 resistance at 2.69, currently sitting at 2.58. We've got to stay above that. And at the moment, you can see a couple of red candles coming in right now. Bitcoin is making it very difficult. But just look at the run up here. Look at the number of consecutive candles in and amidst Bitcoin just being sideways. this is showing great strength for this metaverse project. And let's look at Sandbox as well, because it's a very similar pattern. Beautiful bounce off of its 200-day moving average, but again, a couple of red candles coming in now at the EMA ribbon, which from a technical perspective is acting as resistance. But what we're looking for is the clues. And the clues are not that, we expect coins to go roaring right now whilst Bitcoin is down, these coins are going to do 10%. No. What I'm looking at is which coins are trying to break the status quo. Which ones when Bitcoin is doing 0.5% up are moving 10%, 5%, 6%. Which ones are giving us the clue that they're just waiting such that when Bitcoin goes through 40, 42, 43, 44, works its way back up to 50 and beyond, these ones are well positioned to clear through their all-time highs and head to our price targets. Those are the ones we're looking for. And I can see that within Decentraland and Sandbox, you're seeing those tendencies. You're seeing good solid moves to the upside, sustained pumps, which just goes to show if Bitcoin was in a bullish territory right now and risk appetite was on, you'd know there's an explosion left in these projects to all-time highs. They're proven. They've been at these levels before. There's no reason they can't get back to some of these peaks and beyond. And for Sandbox, my target sits at 13.76 here for Sandbox. Now, the other theme I wanted to introduce and we spoke about is Render. Now, why do we bring up Render? It's a small cap project. We can head on over. We can look at the dynamics of Render and you can see, let's just pull this up here. You can see that the market cap is 800 million roughly, right? So you've got 800 million. You're trading at very low volumes, 100 million every 24 hours. Circulating supply is 200 million. A bit of a concern in that circulating supply is only 37% of the total supply. So we need to keep an eye on that. But what is the thesis, right? Why is it we're interested in a project like, why would we be interested in a project like Render? And the rationale of Render is that Render is decentralizing GPU power. So I don't know if you guys have followed a project called Theta. They're doing almost like P2P video where you can share your bandwidth on uploading and streaming videos. Well, the same is true for your GPU power, right? You've heard of Filecoin where you can share your computer storage, right? Any excess computer storage. Well, with Render, you can share your excess GPU power. And that is really powerful because that is going to power the decentralized metaverses, the likes of Decentraland, the likes of Sandbox. Think about it. This is the picks and shovel approach to investing in the metaverse, because if you're not sure whether Decentraland is going to be the winner or another player in the space, or whether it's going to be a different type of project which may come out or one which we don't even know about yet, at least you know that the fundamentals, the picks and shovels are going to do well. And that is why a lot of people are starting to get interested in Render. And that is why we're seeing a huge move here, guys. A massive move here, quietly working its way up. You can see from the bottoms here, if we take that measured move to the top there, 124% move there on your Render, at 115% move to where we're at right now. But there's still so much to go. But the critical thing we've just seen is if we can close this candle, and by the way, we've got 5 hours left on this candle. If we can close this candle above our EMA ribbon, we've now flipped our EMA ribbon bullish. And that can set us up for a big move to the upside here on Render, which is very interesting. And with a small cap coin like this, the moves can be huge. Now, I do want to caveat this by saying any position that I would or do have in a project like Render would be a very, very small portion of my portfolio. Please understand that, guys. This is a very small project. Just like I talk about Phantom and how it has a small portion, Render would have an even smaller portion of my portfolio given the type of project it is and given the size of it. So please understand, you've got to manage your risk. You've got to take, just because I make a video on a coin doesn't mean my allocation is the same as my Bitcoin allocation. Just because I'm making Phantom videos doesn't mean I hold more Phantom than Bitcoin. It's just my portfolio is built out in a methodical way, and I allocate positions and percentages and stick to them and top up to keep my positions exactly to the weight that I expect. So here on Render, definitely it's worth a position in your portfolio for my metaverse play. So where I have my metaverse narratives, I've got my you have a bit of Decentraland, you have a bit of Sandbox, you need a bit of Render as well, because you can't just bet on the operators, which are Decentraland and Sandbox. Sometimes you need to have the picks and shovels approach where you know that Render is going to power these networks, and therefore as a byproduct, it should do well for the demand as the demand for the token continues to do well. So definitely a lot of potential in this coin. We saw it have a massive hype run all the way from levels. Let's take a look at here. Levels at about $1, running all the way up past about almost touching $9 here on its first run up. So we know it's got the potential to get to that level, but really what you're looking for are your impulse waves to the upside. If you take your Fibonacci retracement, and I'm doing this very roughly here on the iPad, guys, but if you take your Fibonacci retracement, you'll be looking at a golden ratio level of about $13 conservatively here on render. Okay, so that's your Fibonacci golden ratio. So definitely one for you guys to be keeping an eye on. Interesting, very interesting, and definitely one I'm going to continue to keep an eye on, because the fact that it's moving and staying 2% up when Bitcoin is down for such a small market cap project is very interesting. And I definitely noticed that about the wider metaverse plays. They're holding up pretty well. It's definitely a narrative that I think will have its moment, and that's how I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking about, okay, when Bitcoin starts to recover, because it'll get to 40 and it'll get to 41 and 42, what's going to come out the blocks? And I know layer one, I've got a big conviction in layer one, which is why my money is where my mouth is on layer one projects. I think there'll continue to be hot demand for layer ones, but I'm also looking at the narratives of interoperability, which we've discussed with things like Cosmos and Polkadot. And then the other theme I'm looking at is decentralization, okay, metaverse, okay? So definitely things like Decentraland, things like Sandbox, things like Render and other projects in the space are on my radar to top up positions and make sure I'm ready for the next cycle up to 69,000 and beyond. Now is the time to make hay when everybody's fearful, when everybody's panicking. Think strategically, get your portfolio ready, because trust me, when it's pumping, everybody wants Render, everybody wants Decentraland, everybody wants Mana. When they're creating new all-time highs, then it's not interesting. But when Render is now 1/9, we just saw it run up to it's a 1/5 or 1/4 of the price it was, even after the pump we've just seen. And before that, it was 1/8, 1/9. That is when we need to get to work. That is when we need to have conviction and start buying our favorite tokens. As always, guys, if you appreciate this type of content, this blend between technical and fundamental analysis on a range of different coins, make sure you smash up the like button and subscribe. If you want to join the community, head into the Discord channel below. Free public Discord channel. I don't charge a penny. Head into there, meet like-minded people, tag me in questions. I try to get to as many questions as possible. Please, guys, stay safe in crypto. Link in the description. Set yourself up on a VPN. Guys, this is serious. It's like $50 for 2 years, 25 months. They're giving you 70% off on 2 years. So if you haven't set yourself up on a VPN, it's not worth the risk, given you're trading a substantial amount in crypto. You're playing around with wallets, with metaverses, with NFTs. Get yourself set up on NordVPN. They're clearly the front runner in the VPN space. I personally use them, which is why I feel comfortable recommending them to you guys. So check the link in the description. Coupon code OLDMAN. As always, thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.